Everything we do is designed to empower someone. We empower farmers to flourish. We empower financial goals to be achieved. We empower healing to be found. I want to invite all of you to join with us in this mission.
Welcome back to our afternoon session of Connection 2020. Today we're going to be talking about an important concept of optimal wellness, and that is sometimes the discomfort and pain that sometimes we might feel. But I'd like to put it in context of more of our philosophy of wellness that we have at doTERRA. As you know, we talk a lot about our doTERRA wellness lifestyle, and we focus on some primary habits or health habits that help us to have optimal health. And optimal health for us is more than simply being free of sickness. Optimal health is having that strength and that energy and that vitality to go live life and have that life. Now, when we talk about pain, and discomfort today, I want to put that in context, more of a positive context. Pain is actually a messaging system that our body has to protect us against danger. For example, if I put my hand on a hot pan on a stove, immediately my body's going to send me this message to my brain that says, take your hand off that pan. Okay, so but discomfort and aches and pains aren't necessarily a bad thing in every situation. Another example, if it's the springtime and I want to go out and work in my yard and I haven't done that during the winter time, it's the first time that I'm going to do that. And if I go work 12 hours working hard in my yard, the next morning when I wake up, I may wake up with some aches and pains. Well, that's my body telling me that perhaps I overdid it a little bit the day before. And again, that's a normal thing, and it's something that we live with, and it's something we should listen to when our body sends us those messages. So the question is, when we're after, if our goal is to have optimal health, how can we manage that messaging system in such a way? How can we listen to those messages in such a way that we respond to those messages to help us have optimal health? And again, it starts with going back to those primary wellness activities of eating right, exercising, resting, managing stress, and reducing our toxic load. All right? So let's say I do wake up one morning after a hard day of yard work, and I do have that discomfort in my muscles and aches in my joints. So what can I do? Well, that day is a great day, again, to focus back on making sure the foods that we are high in micronutrients, that we're getting a good supply of antioxidants, that we're hydrating, regular exercise that includes not only aerobic capacity, but also strength training and especially flexibility training are all ways that can help us reduce or minimize some of those aches and discomforts that come with regular demands of life. We can also make sure that we're getting plenty of rest. If I wake up and I'm feeling those aches and pains again, I want to make sure that I'm getting a good recovery time. So rest and managing stress is also a strategy for these discomforts that sometimes we encounter during life. So again, as part of our overall doTERRA philosophy of living a lifestyle that contributes to optimal wellness and vitality, this is one area that we can focus on, and we can use doTERRA and doTERRA products and follow those healthy lifestyle activities to help us manage those occasional discomforts that sometimes we have as part of life. Now, I am happy to introduce this afternoon's host, Brielle Bailey. We were pleased to have Brie join the doTERRA team 3 years ago, and she has spent much of that time working with many of our performance advocates as well as professional athletic trainers. She has recently accepted the role as Market Development Manager for diverse markets in the U.S. and Canada, and is also part of our new Inclusion and Diversity Committee. As a former collegiate athlete at Arizona State University, Brie has ample experience with this afternoon's topic and has become a strong advocate for optimal wellness.
Let me just clear the air real quick because this is a question that I get quite often. I'm 6'4", and let me tell you, it is a pain to buy pants, and you will never see me in a pair of heels. As a collegiate volleyball player, I've experienced a lot of physical discomfort due to the amount of training I was doing. Playing sports at a high level requires your body to be in perfect shape so that you can consistently perform your best on the court. With up to 10 hours of training per day, health problems happened frequently. And unfortunately, most of these happened during the season where a quick turnaround was necessary. This led to many athletes, including myself, relying on synthetic solutions that could potentially negatively influence the body in the long run. This isn't only a concern for athletes, however. People all over the world deal with discomfort and are looking for natural ways to support their bodies. Today, we're going to talk all about relief and how you can find it using the natural solutions at your fingertips. We've brought in some of the best experts on this topic, from doctors to athletes to scientists. We will pull from their insight, ask hard questions, and get to the heart of how you can find relief using natural products. We know that this is a topic so close to many hearts, and to help us all connect today, we want to hear from you throughout the session. Post where you're joining us from with the hashtag doTERRA2020. We have 25 relief kits ready to give away to 25 lucky people who post where they're watching the session from today, so do not miss your chance. Our first presenter is Dr. Paul Winterton, a board-certified orthopedic surgeon with decades of medical experience.
It's my distinct honor and privilege to be involved with this year's festivities, particularly with regard to presenting ideas promoting physical comfort, the physiology of what causes body discomfort, and discuss some of the developments in how the medical field is addressing these matters. When we think about discomfort, we can think of it in terms of short-term or persistent. An example of short-term discomfort is when you hit your thumb with a hammer. This hurts intensely at first and then slowly fades over time. Let's walk through what happens in your body after you hit your thumb with a hammer. Unpleasant physical sensations involve receptors, two-way communication between peripheral nerves and the central nervous system, and a variety of chemicals along with that. When a traumatic or non-traumatic injury occurs in an extremity or deep within an organ system, copious amounts of a neurochemical called serotonin and the electrolyte potassium are released at the site of injury. Serotonin can amplify or calm the signals being sent, and potassium is involved in the firing of our neurons. Specialized receptors are found within layers of skin and deep tissues like muscle, joints, and most of our visceral organs that serve to detect sensations such as heat, pressure, chemicals, and, of course, discomfort. The different types of stimuli are received by these receptors, and if the stimulus is strong enough, it's changed into electrochemical signals that are sent to the central nervous system. The spinal cord begins processing that signal sent from the peripheral nerves and releases excitatory neurotransmitters, like glutamate. The brain receives the signal and determines the quality, location, and intensity of the stimuli, triggering feelings of discomfort. However, if this assault to the body, in this case your thumb, is not corrected and resolved properly, healthy nerve function can be disrupted, making the soreness become more intense and persistent. In this case, serotonin is released by the brain into the spinal cord, which activates channels in the peripheral nervous system that become hyperactive. This serotonin release at the site of injury, as well as the release of serotonin in the brain, is a very important factor in how we perceive potentially damaging stimuli. Specifically, serotonin creates varying levels of tolerance to the unpleasant sensation, whether it be traditional injury-associated discomfort or the kind of emotional discomfort spawned from despair or depression. With an agitated nervous system, unpleasant sensations are amplified, and other nerve cells respond in a cascading, negative manner. Inflammation is another trigger in this cycle. Inflammation is your body's normal response to infection or injury. It's a protective mechanism that stops damage to tissues and cells. But if it persists longer than it should after an injury or infection, it can cause pressure to build in the affected area that irritates sensitive nerve endings. This can disrupt proper nerve function and make them more sensitive to noxious stimuli. The goal is to better manage this cycle, from stimulus detection to response and resolution. We can intervene at different points in this cycle to support healthy resolution before it becomes persistent. For the past few decades, the medical field's approach to addressing this cycle has resulted in some problems. The overall reliance on synthetic chemicals to intervene in this cycle of discomfort has not been entirely effective, to say the least. A combination of factors such as emotional, mental, and social components also contribute to persistent discomfort. The way we respond to unpleasant stimuli can either make the sensations worse or better. These important factors are not being addressed by an approach that relies excessively on synthetic chemicals. We're realizing the impact of that approach and are aggressively moving away from it. We're actively looking for better solutions, and that's why we're here. So what is our solution? What will be our new direction and trajectory to help people find relief? One such solution is essential oils, which can help with the physical, emotional, mental, and social aspects that contribute to this cycle of discomfort. There are many supportive essential oils to help with occasional minor aches and more persistent unpleasant sensations, including ways that essential oils can augment other solutions we're using. We're currently moving toward promoting the philosophy of self-efficacy, or in other words, fostering the confidence in oneself and our intrinsic natural capacity to manage this discomfort cycle. This self-efficacy has been unequivocally proven existent, strong, and effective within the psyche of our patients, creating resilience that produces the ability to recover from setbacks and/or adapt in stressful, uncomfortable situations. Towards this end, education is the key to unleash these cognitive powers our patients have. Yes, we can train them in their ability to acknowledge, characterize, and qualify the unpleasant sensations they feel. We can teach them about fear management with the promise and understanding that their discomfort will evolve and improve if they engage it in emotionally healthy ways. This is the core principle of self-efficacy. In fact, this is the philosophy and solution trajectory espoused by my beloved American Academy of Orthopedic Surgery. Most recently, in 2017, the value of integrative, supportive use of essential oils was strongly promoted by the American Academy of Orthopedic Surgery in a paper published in the Journal of Bone and Joint Surgery, the greatest medical journal of all time. Specific protocols used as complementary solutions were formally endorsed as standard of care. Isn't that remarkable? Isn't that fabulous? For years, we've enjoyed protocols designed to provide relief that are pillars of Western allopathic medicine. Now, included within these FDA-approved pillars exist supportive, complementary modalities promoted by our most revered medical societies worldwide. Isn't that spectacular and exciting? Any other medical society or vertically integrated healthcare institution that doesn't adopt an integrative approach to discomfort management in a multidisciplinary way is derelict in its responsibilities to the patients they care for. That's a fact. Of course, pharmaceutical strategies will forever be part of our multidisciplinary approach. However, cognitive and mental strategies, as well as physical strategies employing supportive essential oils, will likewise include clinically proven modalities such as guided imagery, meditation, Reiki, massage, and not the least of which, aromatherapy, or the clinical application of essential oils. The connection between discomfort and our emotional well-being is fascinating. And this is a core part of self-efficacy I discussed. The fact is, our emotional and mental response to unpleasant sensations can heighten the severity to which we perceive them. When we work to control our emotional response to discomfort, we can reduce it. Isn't that fascinating? For example, promoting a sense of relaxation and calm can dramatically diminish the unwelcome experience of physical discomfort. You can use complementary mental modalities to affect your natural response to various stimuli. We'll never entirely eradicate discomfort from our lives. However, we can take on these kinds of experiences in a multidisciplinary way. We can emphasize and tackle the physical, mental, emotional factors that contribute to the discomfort we all feel as part of the human experience. Although orthopedic surgeons aren't psychologists or psychiatrists, we indeed encounter the psychosocial aspects of human behavior in relation to overall well-being every day of our practice. We do care deeply about the well-being of our patients and will integrate topical, inhaled, or ingested essential oils as a supportive part of our multidisciplinary, FDA-approved, board-endorsed pillars of managing our patients' overall health, well-being, particularly in times of distress. This is what I've done in my own practice. Recognizing the benefits of an integrative and multidisciplinary approach, I've enhanced my practice and therefore my patients' experience by incorporating essential oils. This approach leverages essential oils to assist, support, and maintain a positive emotional response in my patients. I've employed a full-time massage therapist for my office, trained in the aroma touch technique. Prior to consultation in the outpatient clinic setting, as well as the preoperative holding area before their surgical procedure, the patient is given a hand and forearm and foot and calf massage with 2 drops of the following 4 oils commingled in a carrier medium: frankincense, bergamot, lavender, and aroma touch blend. This massage has been remarkably soothing for patients as they are preparing for their surgical consultation or their operation. A Copaiba massage has provided excellent relief and supports the overall well-being of my patients and a very soothing effect to the upper extremities and hands. Finally, all of my patients are given a Digest Zen soft gel in the post-anesthesia recovery unit, the PACU. The postoperative digestive discomfort so commonly associated with anesthesia can be considerably mitigated by the soothing, supportive effects of the 6 essential oils in this blend, specifically fennel, anise, coriander, caraway, peppermint, and ginger. So, what are the essential oil solutions to resolve this discomfort cycle we've been discussing and provide much needed relief? Early use of topical essential oils can be soothing to the mind and body during the cycle of discomfort, particularly when incorporated as part of a massage to the affected extremities. Some of my favorite essential oils that have been studied clinically, either alone or in combination with other essential oils, include ginger, lavender, peppermint, rosemary, and clary sage, all of which I use in my practice. And don't forget the blends Deep Blue and Aroma Touch. To support a healthy inflammatory response and attack persistent discomfort, I recommend Copaiba soft gels, turmeric dual chamber capsules, and yarrow palm. Taking these supplements provides broad support in the body. These solutions, working in tandem with traditional solutions, enjoy statistically significant efficacy within the context of supported human trials. So here's to the future of essential oils and their soothing, supportive capacities for patients who are struggling with discomfort.
My name is Dr. Kelly Lancaster. I live in Bowie, Texas, and we live on a ranch with a bunch of horses and cows I'm a chiropractor and also a clinical nutritionist. I've always been really impassioned about making someone else's life better. It's a pretty good day at work. But up until about 6 years ago, I had really no experience with essential oils at all. On May 24th of 2014, Dane, my youngest son, was involved in a horse injury. His horse was flipped and he was caught underneath and it crushed his skull.
In seconds, my goal in life was for Dane to live.
As I'm in the arena, on my knees, begging for the life of my child, I knew that it would take a miracle. Because of Dane's brain injury, he was paralyzed on his left side. So his left arm and his left leg, that side of his body, did not function.
We were being told that Dane would probably live the rest of his life in a nursing facility. My thought of what our future was going to be changed literally in a heartbeat.
As a mother, I struggled with significant fatigue, just stress and worry. What did the future hold for Dane? I found myself not even able to take care of myself because my only focus had to be him. Emotionally, I became very stressed, very overwrought. I knew I needed solutions, and oils very much helped me with that. The more I learned about oils, the more I learned about the great power and support that they could offer. I knew that I had to incorporate this into our family and into our lives. A friend of ours showed me how doTERRA could be part of what we offered our patients. It became something that we got very excited about, the opportunity to help someone else in this way.
When she started implementing the doTERRA products into her practice, I knew that the quality had to be there because I know her, I know my wife, I know that she would never sacrifice quality for any reason. That's her top priority.
We diffuse through our clinic every day. On Guard is going in every treatment room. We use great volumes of Deep Blue in my office. This has been how we introduce patients to doTERRA so that they are well and they stay well.
After Dane's injury, they told us because of the area of his brain that was injured, he would probably never speak again. The very next day after they told us this, Dane started talking.
What color is Rudy? What?
What color's Rudy?
Green.
Yes! That's right! That's right! He's brown. Give me a high five.
Oh my goodness! Dane, that's awesome, buddy!
I used to tell him in the hospital, if he ever spoke, I would never tell him to be quiet again, and I've regretted those words many times.
Now Dane is 17. He's living the life of a teenager.
He started not only competing, but he started winning. He started getting faster. He started getting stronger. All those hopes and dreams that I had for him pre-injury are starting to come back because he's just improving so much.
If you came to me asking me if doTERRA would be a good choice for you, I would tell you absolutely. For us, it's been life-changing. Not only from a personal perspective, but from a business perspective. It's changed how we do everything. doTERRA has been our restoration, and I know it can change other people's lives too.
Coming up soon, we'll be privileged to hear from Dr. David Hill, founding executive over science and healthcare, and he'll be diving in depth into Deep Blue. But first, Kristen Pardue, a registered dietitian and presidential diamond, shares with us one of the most important foundations for your health, your nutrition.
I get to talk to you about a healthy diet and how it helps with relief and healthy response levels in our bodies. Additionally, I'm going to share about using supplements to increase your energy and overall well-being. First, I wanted to share with you why I became so passionate about a healthy diet. A little over 10 years ago, I started having discomfort in my hands from systemic issues that caused inflammation. They were so swollen that I couldn't even make a fist with my hands. I didn't feel well, and I didn't know what was wrong with me. I went to my doctor who ran labs. The discomfort kept getting worse, and it spread all over my body. I was sent to many specialists and was put on medication after medication, but nothing helped. I kept getting worse. I couldn't sleep at night. I just sat in my bed and cried. My husband would pray over me that we would get answers. This went on for a while, and finally I took my health into my own hands. I did my own research, and I found that food could be medicine. I changed my diet. I cut out foods such as gluten and pasteurized dairy, and I fed my body real whole foods. I focused on detoxification to get heavy metals out of my body. And within a few months, I felt a huge shift. I felt better than ever. And I've been healthy ever since. A few years after this, I was introduced to doTERRA, the core wellness pyramid that teaches first you need to have a good diet as your foundation, and that really spoke to me. Today, I want to talk to you about a healthy diet to support a healthy inflammatory response. And then later, I'll talk to you about supplements to increase your energy. It's absolutely extremely important to do our part in keeping healthy inflammatory response levels in our bodies so that we can live a long, healthy life feeling our absolute best. The foods you eat and don't eat can determine how well your body handles responses and swelling that can lead to discomfort. Proper nutrition can help with occasional pain. It's the biggest factor you can change to provide relief. A lot of mild pain is the result of unhealthy inflammatory responses, and the evidence is quite strong that your diet can be a contributing factor. But the good news is that this means that your diet is also one of the best ways to reduce inflammation, and you are in control of your diet. The best dietary approach to help our immune system is to eat whole, fresh foods and cut out the processed, fried, and sugary foods. I like to tell people that with every bite that you take, you're either helping to feed challenges or prevent challenges. And of course, we don't have to eat perfectly, but I would definitely make at least 80% of what you eat be foods that are going to help support your body. Okay, let's talk about what foods can cause challenges and what foods can fight against them. Many of the bad foods are processed junk foods with low nutritional value. These would be things in a package with a long list of ingredients that are hard to pronounce. Other foods that can cause inflammation are sugar and high fructose corn syrup. Cutting out or at least limiting sugar can provide relief to your body. Fried foods, these cause swelling because of the trans fats in them. According to one study in the Journal of Nutrition, increased consumption of trans fatty acids was associated with higher levels of markers of inflammation, including C-reactive protein, CRP, and interleukin-6. Processed meat may also be an issue, so try to buy fresh meat from a local farmer or organic meat from your local grocery store. Refined carbohydrates such as pasta, white bread, cookies, crackers are notorious as some of the top foods that can cause discomfort in your joints. These foods undergo extensive processing, stripping them of beneficial nutrients. Refined carbohydrates also tend to have a higher glycemic index, which is used to measure how quickly foods increase your blood sugar levels, which can be an issue even in healthy adults. Vegetable oils, especially those high in omega-6 fatty acids such as corn, soy, and canola, can induce the production of pro-inflammatory cytokines. Excessive alcohol can cause many issues. And lastly, for people with sensitivities to casein and gluten, pasteurized cow's milk and gluten can cause discomfort and swelling. Many people are sensitive to pasteurized cow's milk and gluten and don't even realize it. If someone is living with unknown discomfort in their body, I would recommend that they get off pasteurized cow's milk and gluten for 4 to 6 weeks to see if they feel better. A healthy, well-rounded diet should be made up of mostly nutrient-dense, whole foods, including fruits, veggies, nuts, sprouted seeds and legumes, herbs, spices, healthy fats, and protein. When it comes to the good foods that support and give comfort to the body, it's important to get a variety of them so you don't miss out on the vital nutrients your immune system and body needs. When we think about comfort, let's turn to foods that actually provide soothing relief to our bodies. Some healthy foods that you can include in your diet are green leafy vegetables, wild-caught salmon, broccoli, beets, celery, blueberries, pineapple, bone broth, walnuts, tart cherries, chia seeds and flax seeds, turmeric, and ginger. Even when we do our best to eat healthy, soil depletion has caused crops to not be as rich in vitamins and nutrients as our ancestors' food was. Also, our gut health has been compromised over the years from medications and chemicals that we've been exposed to in our food and in our environment. So don't worry if you get a few more leafy greens than planned. Again, remember to not stress about diet. Focus on eating 80% real, fresh, whole foods and leave a little bit of room to be flexible. In addition to talking about diet, I said I would give you some tips on my favorite doTERRA products. It's important for people to take high-quality supplements. The Lifelong Vitality Pack vitamins were formulated to support our bodies with essential nutrients that are not always present in the foods that we eat. And did you know that stress can deplete our body of nutrients? Another reason to take the Lifelong Vitality Pack, which we call LLV for short. LLV was originally designed to help provide those dietary nutrients that are commonly deficient in modern-day diets by helping us naturally ease discomfort and support energy levels. I'm going to be honest, as a dietitian, I'm very picky about what supplements I take. I wouldn't take LLV at first because I already had vitamins that I loved. But finally one day I thought to myself, everyone keeps raving about these vitamins, I'll just try them, and if they don't work, I'll return them. Well, I took them, and after a few weeks on them, I went from having to take a nap every day when my toddler napped to not needing naps anymore. I was sleeping better and having more energy and motivation. I couldn't believe how much more energy I had. I felt amazing, and I even got my husband on them. He was working full-time and then doing school in the evenings. LLV helped him be able to manage on very little sleep during that season. Well, then we ran out of them. My husband fell asleep at work and then texted me saying, "When is the mailman coming? I need my vitamins." They work so well, and we love them. With the Lifelong Vitality Pack, you get your multivitamin from Microplex VMC, your omega-3 fatty acids from XE Omega, and then there's Alpha CRS, which is full of antioxidants and potent levels of natural botanical extracts that support healthy cell function with important metabolic factors of cellular energy. Here are just a few of the many ways the nutrients, botanical extracts, and omega-3 fatty acids contained in the LLV may support optimal wellness and vitality. Supports a healthy inflammatory response, promotes cellular longevity and youthful cell function, supports energy metabolism, supports cardiovascular, digestive, nervous, and respiratory system health, the health of your brain and bones, proper immune system function, and healthy management of stress. Healthy hair, skin, and nails. It truly does make your hair and nails grow faster. And it's very gentle on the stomach. Nutrition and high-quality supplementation are absolutely key to sustaining healthy bodies. So if you or a loved one are struggling like I used to, I promise you that there's hope. My own journey is proof of that. Our bodies can do amazing things if we give them the right tools. So give your body what it needs to thrive and feel better than you ever have. Thank you.
There was a turning point in my career when one of my trainers introduced me to Deep Blue Rub, and I specifically remember this game because it was against USC, our biggest rival. I remember putting Deep Blue on my knees before the big match, and I couldn't believe the relief I felt. I finally felt like I could jump without the fear of how my body would feel when I hit the ground, and I hadn't felt that way since high school. It's amazing what can happen when powerful resources are available. And to walk us through those resources, Dr. David Hill.